common lands could take several different forms. Say it's in the form of forests or grasslands or wetlands. But it all comes down to the fact that India's commons ultimately provide security, livelihoods, and even dignity to millions of rural people in India.
But these commons have also faced threats in the past, with encroachments building upon them. The Rajasthan High Court found itself flooded with writ petitions of such encroachment allegations. And to quicken the process of redressal in these cases, in 2019, the High Court ordered for a pan-Rajasthan solution by forming public land protection cells to deal with complaints and verify whether or not such encroachments have taken place on common lands. So how does this change the governance of commons in Rajasthan?
People are filing it for the protection of their orans, which are the sacred groves in Rajasthan, a very unique kind of resource there. Then it's also for the roads, public roads. It could also be for the grazing lands, particularly which has extremely high dependence within Rajasthan.
ओरन वाला ही जमीन था और दिक्कतें ये हो रही थी जो 20 साल तक तो जो गोबर का वो पूरा वो लगाते गए तो यातायात का भी आना जाना वो भी परेशानी हो रही थी। दूसरी बात है बारिश के दिनों में पूरा मतलब लोगों को दिक्कतें आ रही थी। चराने के लिए भी हो रही थी क्योंकि गाय वगैरह पशु वगैरह चरने के लिए जा रहे थे, उनको भी जाने में परेशानी हो रही। 20 ट्रॉली पूरा हटवाया। ज्यादातर यही देखा जाता है जो मतलब घर बना लेते हैं, मतलब वो घास फूस टाइप का पहले तो वो बना लिए, फिर उसके ऊपर अगर ध्यान नहीं गया लोगों का या पंचायत बॉडी का, फिर उसके बाद थोड़ा सा वो अच्छे ढंग से बना लेते हैं। कहीं खेती करने लगते हैं, कहीं पे वही मैंने जो बताया पशुओं का वो गोबर वगैरह वो डालना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं या बांधना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं पशुओं को, तो उस तरह से हो जाता है अतिक्रमण।
And earlier, it would take a lot of time, money and effort to resolve these encroachment cases.
सबसे पहला प्रोसेस यही होता है जो प्रशासन ये बोलते हैं आप पहले ग्राम सभा के रजिस्टर में प्रस्ताव में लो, उसके बाद ही वो भी साथ देते हैं। जैसे कि 5 और 20 तारीख को कोरम मीटिंग होती है तो जनप्रतिनिधि लोग आते हैं, सरपंच भी होते हैं, सचिव भी होते हैं, उनको पता चलता है जो यहाँ पे अतिक्रमण जो अपने सामलात पे भी है और जो ओरन की बात आप कर रहे हैं ना, जो अपने रोड के साइड में जो खाली पड़े होते हैं वहाँ पे वो लोग गोबर या वो जो जिस तरह से डालते हैं, फिर वो बात चर्चा होती है कोरम मीटिंग में, उसके बाद उसको ग्राम सभा के रजिस्टर में लिया जाता है। उसके बाद एसडीएम जो होते हैं ना, एसडीएम तहसीलदार, उनको भी वो कॉपी भेजनी पड़ती है प्रस्ताव की, फिर वो शासन और प्रशासन दोनों मिलके फिर उस अतिक्रमण को हटाने में सफल होते हैं। लगभग 6 महीने तो लग ही जाता है प्रोसेस पूरा होते होते।
There were high levels of pendency in these cases that were reported. Then there are also social and cultural power dynamics at the local level particularly, which would also often lead to delays in these cases.
बिल्कुल चुनौती तो ये आती है जो कोरम के जो सदस्य होते हैं, हो सकता है जो उसमें से ही एक सदस्य है जो किया हुआ है, अतिक्रमण किया हुआ है, तो वो तो फिर नहीं आएंगे। तिहाई कोरम बैठक में तिहाई हस्ताक्षर चाहिए सबका, और जैसे ही बात होती है जो कि आज जो हम ग्राम कोरम मीटिंग रख रहे हैं उसका एजेंडा है हमारा अतिक्रमण हटवाने का, तो वो फिर आनाकानी होती है।
So which would then lead the cases to mount up before the courts. So the overall burden and the need to protect these lands as well, taking cognizance, I think, of both of these things is why the Rajasthan High Court was prompted to innovate the PLPCs.
How does a PLPC change the current situation?
So a person can still go and report the case to the panchayat or to the tehsildar. Even now, those options still exist. But when she goes to the public land protection cell, it's the district collector herself that she is going to directly make a case in front of. So the district collector is the chairperson of the PLPC. And there are no hard and fast rules here, to be honest. People can file it without being represented by a lawyer. They can directly make a case for their community before the district collector. So the collector will first depute officials like the subdivisional officer or the tehsildar or the naib tehsildar. And if in their opinion it's a genuine case, and of course that has to go with the legal procedures that are available, they will pass a speaking order after ensuring that everyone has had the opportunity to make their own case, and they will take a legal action to remove the encroachment. This clearly is a very simple process, and these cells also need to follow the Supreme Court's directions from the landmark Jagpal Singh case of 2011, or the Commons judgment as we call it, and make sure that the evictions from common lands is the rule, and these encroachments are regularized only in exceptional circumstances. So the best part is that the whole process needs to be completed within a period of 90 days. And this time frame clearly allows for justice to be dispensed, I believe, quickly as well as effectively.
When commons are restored and a common access to the land and its resources is maintained, benefits to the communities follow.
सबसे पहले सीमा खाई का काम होता है। तो सीमा खाई हर पंचायत में जो भी गोचर भूमि खाली है उस पे हो चुका है। तो अभी हमारा प्रोसेस है जो बारिश से पहले बबूल की कटाई हो जाए और अच्छे से, क्योंकि बबूल है इस वजह से घास वगैरह बिल्कुल नहीं हो रहे हैं। तो बबूल कटाई होने के बाद फिर नरेगा से टेंस की खुदाई हो और बारिश आने से पहले घास बीज का जो होता है, घास का बीज, वो छिड़काव करें जिससे कि हमारा बारिश में पौधा घास अच्छे हो और फिर आगे कमेटी तय करे जो किस हिसाब से उस घास को वितरण होगा। जिनके पास पशु हैं, ज्यादातर हम उन लोगों को ही जोड़ रहे हैं।
What more can public land protection cells do as more states follow in implementing these?
So they could firstly perhaps start by documenting and maintaining a record of common lands within the district. So they can also actively monitor the status of common lands. They can use periodic GIS data for it. There are huge gaps in common land data and mapping, and these cells might just be the answer. So recently, even the High Court has directed the Tamil Nadu government to maintain satellite imaging for all water bodies in the state, just to ensure that they're protected and there is proof that they existed. Madhya Pradesh also has a system of PLPCs now. Their entire model has been replicated. This was also again done by a High Court order in 2021. So first and foremost thing is that other state governments can easily take cue from this and introduce it within their states too. But what we need here is a standard operating procedure to ensure that it's uniformly followed across districts. And what this would of course do is increase public accountability as a result. Having faith in this body makes us really wonder what they can mean for the governance of commons in general, and the role that they can play to support these panchayats and village institutions in managing the commons better, as opposed to just removing encroachments. So it's going to be extremely crucial, I believe, for states to bring out such a code of conduct if this model has to be scaled up. And we believe these cells can truly be a game changer, and it's really important that we do it right.